On a very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Finance Ministry assures 99.5% debit cards issued by banks are completely safe. This after more than 32 lakh cards were blocked or recalled by banks for suspected security breach. India says it is committed to SARC and its principles but needs a terror-free atmosphere. Pakistan lodges protest over alleged ceasefire violation by India, also warns of appropriate action if Indus Waters Treaty is violated. At least 22 people killed and several injured in a bus accident in Riyasi in Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister and Chief Minister condole the deaths. Donald Trump continues to question legitimacy of presidential elections, says he will accept results of the polls only if he wins. And New Zealand defeats India by 6 runs in a thrilling ODI at Firozshah Kotla in Delhi, level the 5-match series at 1 apiece. Well, the Finance Ministry on Thursday assured that 99.5% of the debit cards issued by different banks are completely safe. This comes in the wake of reports that more than 32 lakh debit cards have been blocked or recalled by banks to prevent them from falling prey to any financial fraud after a major security breach at a payment services provider. Now, the ministry also said that there is no need to panic and claimed that the blocked cards constitute a small number. Here's more.
In the biggest ever security breach affecting the Indian banking sector, 32 lakh debit cards of various public and private sector banks are feared to have been compromised by cyber malware attack in some ATM systems, even as government asks people not to panic. Several banks, including state-run SBI, Bank of Baroda, IDBI Bank, Central Bank and Andhra Bank, have replaced debit cards of several customers as a preemptive measure. SBI is said to have recalled around 6 lakh cards. Among the private sector players, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank and Yes Bank have asked customers to change their ATM pins. The suspected security breach happened through a malware in the systems of Hitachi Payment Services, which serves ATM network of Yes Bank and some white label ATMs. In the wake of the debit card data breach, the umbrella body for all retail payment systems in India, National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI) said, and I quote, "All affected banks have been alerted by card networks that a total card base of about 3.2 million could have been possibly compromised. Out of this, 0.6 million are RuPay cards." Seeking to calm worried bank customers, Finance Ministry on Thursday assured that 99.5% debit cards issued by different banks are completely safe and that there was no need to panic. It said the blocked cards constitutes a small number. Fraudulent withdrawals have been reported from 19 banks so far, while complaints have been received from few banks that their customers' cards were used fraudulently abroad, mainly in China and the US, while customers were in India. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Moving on, now India has said that it is committed to SARC and its principles. MEA spokesperson Vikas Swarup, while replying to a question on possibility of SARC without Pakistan, said that the forum remains a priority for closer cooperation in the region. However, Swarup added that a terror-free atmosphere was needed. On Pakistan's ban on Indian films and TV channels, India says it reflects Islamabad's lack of self-confidence. Swarup said India has not imposed any blanket ban on Pakistani artists and films.
Look, I would say it is government's priority to promote closer cooperation and economic integration in our region. Our interest in SARC remains intact, but our concern is that the connectivity, trade, including MFN, and cooperation that SARC requires and the terror-free atmosphere needed for these initiatives is not there at the moment due to the actions of one country in our neighborhood. That is why all the SARC countries, as you know, wrote to the current chair of SARC, that is Nepal, saying in one voice that in the current atmosphere, it is not possible for them to participate in the proposed SARC summit in Islamabad. We remain committed to SARC and its principles, and our intention is not to throw out the baby with the bathwater, our intention is only to clean up the bathwater. देखिए हम लोग ने तो इस तरह का कोई बैन नहीं लगाया है. अभी भी पाकिस्तानी आप सीरियल्स देख सकते हैं जिंदगी चैनल और कई चैनलों पे. मैं इसको दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण कहूंगा और मेरे ख्याल से ये पाकिस्तान की तरफ से एक तरह से आत्मविश्वास की कमी दर्शाता है.
Meanwhile, Pakistan summoned the Indian Deputy High Commissioner to Islamabad over the killing of a civilian in what it alleged is India's unprovoked ceasefire violation across the line of control. Pakistan Foreign Office spokesperson said that while one civilian was killed, 12 others, including women and children, were injured in the incident on Wednesday night. Separately, in Rawalpindi, the Pakistani military handed over a protest letter to the United Nations Military Observer Group in India and Pakistan. Pakistan also warned India of appropriate action if India violates the Indus Water Treaty. Islamabad has said it is closely monitoring the situation amid reports that New Delhi may revisit the key water sharing accord.
As I have mentioned, that there have been more than 90 line of control violations by India, and I have tweeted on that also, and it is already in the public domain. I'm waiting for the casualties, number of casualties or the injuries people have sustained, but I did tweet about those 5 who were injured in the last violation at Karela, and there's one shahadat also. So we condemn that. Pakistan is closely following the developments and will not accept any violation of the Indus Waters Treaty. We will take appropriate action in line with the provisions of Indus Water Treaty in case of any violation of this treaty.
Well, at least 22 people have been killed and 26 injured when a bus they were travelling in skidded off the road and rolled into a deep gorge in Riyasi district of Jammu and Kashmir. The bus was carrying 45 passengers from Riyasi to Bakle when the incident took place. Those seriously injured were airlifted to Government Medical College and Hospital in Jammu for treatment. The rescue operation was jointly launched by the police and the district administration with the help of local residents. A probe has been initiated to ascertain the cause of the accident. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti expressed grief over the loss of lives in the road accident. She issued directions for giving best possible treatment to the injured. An immediate cash relief of 10,000 rupees each for the next of kin and those killed has been released. Prime Minister Modi has also condoled the loss of lives in the bus accident.
22 जो हैं वो कंफर्म्ड हैं, जो लोग मर गए हैं. बाकी जो लोग हैं उनको एम्बुलेंस से यहाँ से शिफ्ट किया गया है इमीडिएटली डाल के. और फर्स्ट एड कटरा से भी हमने एम्बुलेंसें मंगवाई हैं, एनएचपीसी की भी हमने एम्बुलेंस मंगवाई हैं, आर्मी वालों की भी मंगवाई हैं. और जो ज़्यादा सीरियस एयरलिफ्ट की भी हमने बात की है, वो भी आर्मी वालों से बात हो गई है.
Well, the first ever global conference to strengthen arbitration and enforcement in India will begin in New Delhi today. President Pranab Mukherjee will inaugurate the 3-day-long conference at Vigyan Bhavan. Union Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Arun Jaitley, Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog Arvind Panagria, Chief Justice of India T.S. Thakur will also address the inaugural session. It is being held to change the face of dispute resolution in India. The conference seeks to provide impetus to commercial arbitration in the country, which is fast gaining pace across the world for faster and efficient dispute resolution outside the courtroom. India and the United States agreed to solve issues related to visa, movement of professionals and totalization agreement during the 10th India-US Trade Policy Forum meeting on Thursday. At the meeting attended by Commerce Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and US Trade Representative Michael Foreman, both leaders decided to continue their engagement in order to pursue a bilateral social security pact. India is insisting for early conclusion of the Social Security Pact as it would allow Indians working in the United States to avoid double taxation on Social Security. India also urged the US to review its approval system related to exported food and drug products to facilitate small exporters.
The Generic Drug Users Fee Act or the Food Safety Modernization Act, as they would otherwise refer to, of 2011, have started creating an elaborate system of inspection as well as inspection fees. We think this goes against small exporters who really cannot afford that kind of a fee, and it hits the SMEs badly. So a review of the inspection system to move towards, again, the conformity-based assessment, which is what we insisted.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In this episode of Special Report, we are in Canada.
Canada, a colonial cousin of India.
कनाडा में सब कुछ है जो भारत को चाहिए और भारत के पास वो सब कुछ है जो कनाडा को चाहिए.
Is now the first choice of Indian migrants. Watch a special report from Canada with love, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, student union members of the Jawaharlal Nehru University will protest at the Ministry of Home Affairs today. This after continued protests by students for the last 2 days over the alleged inaction by varsity officials in tracing a student who went missing on Saturday. University Vice-Chancellor M. Jagdish Kumar and 12 other officials were even confined to an administrative building for over 20 hours without food and water. It was only after an assurance from the Home Minister Rajnath Singh that the officials were allowed to leave. The Delhi police has constituted an SIT to trace the student and announced a reward of 50,000 rupees for any information on him.
The JNU campus once again on the boil, this time over the mysterious disappearance of a student, Najib Ahmed. Ahmed hasn't been seen for the last 5 days, reportedly after a brawl with members of the ABVP. Students are holding protests for the last 3 days, alleging inaction by varsity officials in finding him.
प्रशासन जो है अपनी इनसेंसिटिविटी और इनह्यूमन रवैये पे अड़ा हुआ है. बार बार इस चीज को कहने पे कि ये 4 डिमांड हैं जो जस्टिस फॉर नजीब की लड़ाई, मतलब नजीब के लिए न्याय की लड़ाई को आगे ले जाएंगे. प्रशासन एक कदम भी बढ़ाने को नहीं तैयार है. एक इगोइस्टिक रवैया लेकर बार बार स्टूडेंट्स का जो एक तरह से कहा जाए धैर्य है उसकी परीक्षा लेता है. और स्टूडेंट्स इतने डेमोक्रेटिक मीन से जब यहाँ पे प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं तो प्रशासन को इतनी हिम्मत भी नहीं हो रही, इतनी मतलब एक तरह से सेंसिटिविटी भी नहीं हो रही कि आके स्टूडेंट से बात करके उनसे एक जो उनकी जो सिंपल डिमांड है जो कुछ.
The standoff escalated on Wednesday when the students detained the Vice-Chancellor and 12 other officials in the administrative building for over 20 hours without food and water. Despite assurances from the Vice-Chancellor, the students refused to budge.
We are taking all necessary steps to trace Najib Ahmed. First of all, I would like to inform you that we have reported the case to the police and regularly monitoring the developments by keeping in touch with them. Secondly, we have made an appeal to Najib Ahmed through the media and the university's website to return and resume his academic activities without any fear. Thirdly, a fair inquiry has been initiated in the Chief Proctor's office on the alleged violence during the election campaign for membership in the mess committee in the hostel.
The officials were allowed to leave only after Home Minister Rajnath Singh intervened with an assurance that a special police team will be set up to find Ahmed. The Delhi police has set up a special investigation team to trace the missing student. 10 other teams are looking for Najib Ahmed in Delhi and neighbouring states. A cash award of 50,000 rupees has also been announced for anyone with information about him.
वाइस चांसलर और जो सीनियर ऑफिसरों को वहाँ पे बंधक बना करके रात में रखना ये बहुत गलत बात है. और जेएनयू में कुछ छात्राएं ऐसे हैं जो लगता है पढ़ने के लिए नहीं आया, वो राजनीति करने के लिए आया है.
दिल्ली पुलिस क्या कर रही है? सो रही है. और जेएनयू के वाइस चांसलर ये कह रहे हैं कि काम पुलिस का है. ये बात सही है कि पुलिस का ये काम है, लेकिन उनको भी तो पूरी कोशिश करना चाहिए. अगर लड़कों ने घुराव किया है उनका तो उसकी वजह यही है.
The crisis in JNU was triggered on Friday after a brawl in the Mahi Manvi hostel. Najib Ahmed went missing after he was reportedly beaten up by ABVP members. With inputs from Panchanan Mishra, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, in a setback to the Congress, former Uttar Pradesh party chief Rita Bahuguna Joshi joined the BJP on Thursday. Joshi cited her issues with the Congress, especially the stand it took by questioning the recent surgical strikes conducted by the army. The Congress has meanwhile called her decision a betrayal.
Former Uttar Pradesh Congress chief Rita Bahuguna Joshi has joined the BJP. After resigning from the Congress, Joshi joined the BJP in the presence of party president Amit Shah.
कांग्रेस पार्टी से इस्तीफा देकर भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस से और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सदस्यता को ग्रहण किया। निर्णय बहुत आसान नहीं था, लेकिन राष्ट्र हित और प्रदेश के हित में मैंने ये निर्णय बहुत ही विचारोपरांत लिया है।
Joshi, daughter of Congress stalwart and former UP Chief Minister Hemwati Nandan Bahuguna, termed the decision as an emotional one. She also questioned the leadership of Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi and criticized him for being a bad listener.
उसके उपरांत कांग्रेस पार्टी को जिस तरह से आगे बढ़ना चाहिए था संघर्ष में, हम नहीं बढ़े। मैं लगातार पार्टी में इस मुद्दे को उठाती रही 3, 4 साल कि हमारा संघर्ष कमजोर है। इन दलों से मुक्त अगर उत्तर प्रदेश को कराना है तो बहुत ही सक्रियता की आवश्यकता है, परंतु वो नहीं हुई। संगठन बिल्कुल निष्क्रिय पड़ा रहा, प्रायः कुछ काम नहीं किया और अंततोगत्वा ऐसे हालात हो गए कि पीके का सहारा लेना पड़ा। अब प्रशांत किशोर जी देखिए, पोल मैनेजर तो हो सकते हैं, पोल के डायरेक्टर नहीं हो सकते।
The Congress, however, was quick to respond and has termed Joshi's exit as betrayal. It has also accused the BJP of amassing what it calls is an army of traitors.
बीजेपी का एक सूत्रीय कार्यक्रम है दगाबाजों की फौज इकट्ठी करना, और बीजेपी दगाबाजों की फौज इकट्ठा करने में कामयाब हो रही है।
तो बड़े अरसे से ढूंढ रही थी कोई सेफ सीट, क्योंकि वो सोचती थी कि शायद वो जीत नहीं पाएगी। तो उससे सेफ सीट उन्होंने बीएसपी में ढूंढी, समाजवादी में ढूंढी और अब बीजेपी में चली गई। तो ये अवसरवादी नेता जो होते हैं ये एक जगह टिकते नहीं। वो पहले समाजवादी में थी, अब कांग्रेस में थी, अब बीजेपी में हैं, कल कहाँ जाएंगी। तो ये तो बराबर अवसरवाद है।
Rita Bahuguna Joshi leaving the party comes as a huge setback for the Congress ahead of assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh next year. Although the Congress leadership has dismissed it as not affecting the party, it sure could lose some ground. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, in Delhi, the zoo and city's famous horse cast Deer Park have been shut down following an outbreak of avian influenza, commonly known as bird flu. On Thursday, 8 more birds were found dead in Delhi Zoo and Deer Park, taking the toll to 18 since last Friday. Of the 10 birds which had died till Wednesday at Delhi Zoo, 3 have been confirmed as bird flu cases. The government has also cancelled leaves of all the officials of Delhi Animal Husbandry Department and appealed to residents to not touch dead birds. The Delhi government has constituted 4 more rapid response teams besides formation of 23-member team headed by Development Commissioner Sandeep Kumar for better coordination between different departments. The government has said that no need to panic as the precautionary measures were being taken.
जांच के बाद कुछ के अंदर H5 वायरस पाया गया था और उसी के आधार पर चिड़ियाघर को अभी बंद किया हुआ है। सारी चर्चा के बाद 23 सदस्यीय एक कोऑर्डिनेशन कमेटी इस पूरे संभावित जो चुनौती है दिल्ली के अंदर, उससे प्राइमरी कंट्रोल के लिए एक कमेटी बनी है। इसके चेयरमैन श्री संदीप कुमार जी होंगे, जो डेवलपमेंट कमिश्नर हैं।
Moving on, now the Odisha government has issued a show-cause notice to the Some hospital asking it to explain as to why its clinical license should not be cancelled in the wake of the fire mishap where 21 people died. BJP leaders also lodged a police complaint against Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik and State Health Minister Atanu Sabyasachi Nayak, naming them as accused in the Some hospital fire incident. 21 people have died and over 100 injured in a fire which broke out at Bhubaneswar Some hospital this week. Let's now take a look at what's making news across the country in Nationwide. The death toll in Japanese encephalitis outbreak in Odisha's Malkangiri district rose to 58 after a 3-year-old boy died while undergoing treatment at the district headquarters hospital. However, unconfirmed reports have put the toll due to the vector-borne disease at 61, which has affected around 100 villages spread over 6 blocks in the district. Eight people, including 6 women, were killed in a firecracker factory fire at Tamil Nadu's Shivakasi in Virudanagar district. The incident occurred when a fire broke out while crackers were being offloaded from a vehicle to a shop. 14 people are injured. The deaths occurred due to suffocation as a result of excess fumes and smoke. Home Minister Rajnath Singh has assured that Karan Johar's new movie "Ae Dil Hai Mushkil" will get a safe and secure release in theatres on the 28th of October. The film is under threat from the MNS for featuring Pakistani actor Fawad Khan. Trouble began when the debate about letting Pakistani artists work in India sparked off after the Uri attack. Moving on to some international news. Now, Donald Trump continues to undermine the legitimacy of the US presidential election that is 19 days away by saying he would accept the results of the election if he wins. At a rally in Ohio on Thursday, the Republican White House hopeful said that he would accept a clear election result but reserve the right to challenge the outcome if he felt it was questionable. Trump sailed into a new political tempest after threatening not to recognize the election outcome during his final debate with Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton. He insists that Clinton's campaign team and the media are attempting to rig the vote against him. Clinton declared herself appalled by what she said was an attack on American democracy. President Barack Obama has said that Trump's insistence that he might not accept the election result was dangerous.
I would like to promise and pledge to all of my voters and supporters and to all of the people of the United States that I will totally accept the results of this great and historic presidential election if I win. Of course, I would accept a clear election result, but I would also reserve my right to contest or file a legal challenge in the case of a questionable result.
There's only one way we lose this election, just one. If we don't turn out to vote. Only way. We got to do it big. We got to leave no doubt. Because you notice the Donald's already whining that the vote's going to be rigged before the game's even over. We're just starting to vote now. He's already like, oh, the game's rigged. Except today he said, of course, it's not rigged if I win.
In some more international news now, in their quest to retake the city of Mosul, Iraqi forces are reported to be making quick gains against the Islamic State near the city. Iraqi forces on Thursday retook a town on the eastern edge of Mosul, while Kurdish Peshmerga opened a new front in the offensive to wrest back the jihadists' last bastion in Iraq. Iraq's counter-terrorism service retook full control of Bartala, a town that lies less than 15 kilometers east of Mosul. The predominantly Christian town had seen fierce IS resistance with reports of several suicide car bombs by militants in response to the special forces' advance. Meanwhile, further north, Kurdish Peshmerga forces opened a new front with a multiple-pronged assault on the town of Bashika. Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi told an international meeting in Paris that the 4-day-old offensive was advancing faster than expected. France and Iraq were co-chairing the meeting on the future of Mosul. The UN fears up to 1 million people still trapped inside Mosul could be forced to flee by the fighting, sparking a humanitarian emergency.
لأهالي برطلة والموصل بالسيطرة الكاملة على مدينة برطلة. ناحية برطلة تم السيطرة عليها، أهلها ومساكنها وكنائسها وجميع مرافقها تحت سيطرة قوات جهاز مكافحة الإرهاب.
ناس دمويين، جو من شيء من انه لا بإنسانية ولا رأفة للبشر. هذا يعني مرة يركض وراها.
Well, on to some cricket news now. New Zealand defeated India by 6 runs in a thrilling encounter in the second ODI at the Firozshah Kotla. Chasing a total of 243 runs, the hosts lost regular wickets, falling short of the target in the last over. Kedar Jadhav top scored for India with 41 runs. Earlier put into bat first, New Zealand lost opener Martin Guptill on the second ball, but Kane Williamson and Nathan Latham combined for a 120-run second wicket partnership to steer the team to a big score. Williamson completed his 8th ODI century before being caught off spinner Amit Mishra. Indian bowlers will then put up a superb bowling performance, picking up the last 7 wickets for just 38 runs. Jasprit Bumrah and Amit Mishra finished with 3 wickets apiece. The 5-match series is now tied at 1 each. India had won the first ODI in Dharamshala by 6 wickets.
It was a pass score because the reason being I said, any of the batsmen would have batted 15 minutes more and, we would have won the game. So I think the bowlers did well to come back into the game. And, initially it was slightly difficult to contain their batsmen and they played some very good proper shots. Not to forget we dropped 2 catches of Williamson, that also has a bit of a bearing. But overall, I was quite happy with 240, 245 because I felt that was very much, something that we could have achieved.
India bowled very well. So at the halfway break, although we were a little bit short, we knew that we knew what the surface was like. We could learn a bit from the way India bowled on it, and I think it was a fantastic effort certainly by our seam bowlers, led by Trent Boult, to restrict them, squeeze them.
Well, let's now get you some overnight sports news in our segment Sports Beat. India thrashed Japan 10-2 in their opening game of the Asian Champions Trophy. Rupinder Pal Singh scored 6 penalty corners to lead the scoring charts as India smashed past 7 goals in the first half. Japan scored 2 second-half goals through Tanaka to restore some pride. Rio Olympic silver medalist PV Sindhu suffered a narrow loss against Sayaka Sato of Japan in the women's singles to draw curtains in the Indian campaign at the Denmark Open. In the battle of nerves, Sindhu went down fighting 13-21, 23-21, 18-21 to world number 12 Sato in a second round match that lasted 1 hour and 5 minutes. Thailand edged past Japan 37-33 in a thrilling encounter in Ahmedabad and earned a hard-fought spot in the final 4 of the Kabaddi World Cup. With this win, Thailand topped the league round in Group B, leaving behind last-time runner-up Iran. Thailand will now take on India in the semi-final, whereas Republic of Korea will take on Iran in the second semi-final. Both the semi-finals will be played today. Germany's Angelique Kerber, who won 2 of the season's 4 Grand Slam titles, secured the year-ending world number 1 ranking on Thursday. Kerber is the 12th player to achieve the year-end top spot and only the second German woman after Steffi Graf, who achieved the feat a record of 8 times. That's it on this edition of the Breakfast News. Have a good day.